And she checked me and then she's like, you're 10 centimeters. I was like, how did I go from 9 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 5 minutes? How is that even possible? And she's like, yes, I think it's time. And I was like, yes. Oh my gosh. And then she was like, where's your boyfriend? And I was like, he went to go get food. And then she was like, okay, downstairs. And I was like, no, he went to our house. And she's like, what? They put the epidural, and then after that it was super easy. I didn't really have any pain, you just feel pressure. So it was the whole night, and I was trying to sleep, but of course I couldn't sleep because they had a monitor on my stomach, so I could hear his heartbeat. So every time you get a contraction, the baby's heartbeat changes. I think it gets like higher. Like, of course he can feel the contraction. He's like, because what a contraction basically is, it's the baby going down. So that's the pressure you feel. So every time that I would get a contraction, I could see it on the monitor, and then I would hear his heartbeat. I was constantly checking his heartbeat, so I couldn't really sleep. I probably slept like 1 hour in total. And then they would come in to check me every hour. So they would come in, check me, and of course I would wake up. So they checked me every hour to make sure I was dilating. And then my actual doctor, because throughout the whole night it's just nurses checking you, she came and then she checked me, and it was about 8 in the morning. I was like 8 centimeters and a half. I was almost 9 centimeters. And then she said, okay, you're almost gonna have this baby, are you ready? And I was like, I think so, I don't know. Oh, actually, backtrack. When I was about 7 centimeters, I think, my water broke. Oh my gosh, once my water broke, then I started to feel contractions again. I forgot about that part. It was like about 7 centimeters. I felt like all wet, like I peed on myself basically. She checked and she was like, yes, your water broke, good job, you're dilating well and you're progressing very well. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then after my water broke, the contractions got really strong again, and the epidural was not even, it felt like the epidural wasn't working anymore, because every time I would get a contraction it was like, okay, I can't do this again. I was like getting more painful. So I had to call the nurse and I was like, okay, what can we do? I'm starting to feel contractions again and it's hurting. Like, can we get like a higher dosage, or like what can we do? And then she basically gave me some more, like a higher dose of epidural, and then that helped a lot. And of course after she did that it went away, but I could still feel the pressure, and the pressure was like stronger and stronger. That's like one thing about the epidural, which I think obviously is a good thing, because you can actually feel that you're progressing, because you can feel the pressure. It's not pain, but like, you know, like, okay, it's happening. And then back to when I was 8 centimeters dilated, my doctor checked me and she was like, okay, it's almost time. And then it was about 9 in the morning, and then we had been in the hospital like the whole night. I hadn't eaten anything, my boyfriend hadn't eaten anything. We're like all like, ugh. And then we live literally, and the car is like 10 minutes or less from the hospital. So my boyfriend was like, okay, I'm gonna go home really fast and bring you some clothes, and I'll change. I'm gonna change and maybe eat some food and bring you some food. And I was like, no, don't go. I was like, don't go, no. Like, it's just 10 minutes, you're not even 9 centimeters dilated, it's fine. I'll be here, I'll go and come back in 30 minutes or less, it's fine. And I was like, no, do not go. If you go, I'm gonna have the baby and you're not gonna be here, and I'm gonna be sad and I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna be angry because no one is here. And then I was like, okay. I felt bad because, you know, he was like the whole night with me, and like he didn't eat anything either. He just drank water and he slept like on this little chair. And I was just like, okay, fine, go change, eat something, and then come back. I was like, come back fast. Don't shower, don't brush your teeth, just change. You know what? Just grab your clothes, grab some whatever you find, and then come back. And he was like, okay. And I had like a feeling. I was like, this is a bad idea. This is not a good idea. Don't let him go. I was like, don't be a bee, you know? So then it was about 9 in the morning, and then my nurse came in again to check me, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna check you. Then she checked me. Then she checked me and I was 9 centimeters. And then she's like, okay, you're 9 centimeters. Well, I wasn't 9 centimeters, but it was like literally like almost there, like, and then she was like, you're almost 9 centimeters, like it's like almost there. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Oh my gosh. And I was like, okay, I need to call my boyfriend, he needs to come right now. Yes, blah 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 blah. And then she was like, it was like 9:30 already, I think. It was like almost 10, because he was born at 10:15. He was born like at 10:15, so it was almost, it was like 9:30, I don't know. It was like between 9 and 10. And then I was 9 centimeters, about 9 centimeters, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna give you this medication. I don't know, I don't remember what it's called, but basically it's like something that they give you so that you don't hemorrhage after having the baby. And I was like, okay, fine. And then she was like, if you feel like pooping, like you're gonna poop, or like you just have like this feeling like, I need to push the red button and I will come. And I was like, okay, fine. And I was thinking, okay, I was like, I'm 9 centimeters. I probably won't feel like pushing for like another 30 or 40 minutes. I was like, that's fine, whatever. And I swear, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take like a little nap. I'm gonna take a little cat nap. I'm gonna be fine. I'm away from my boyfriend, and then 5 minutes pass, and boom, I feel like pooping. Like you feel like pooping, and I was like, you know when you really need to poop, but there is no bathroom for you to go, and you're like, dang, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I have to hold this for a long time. I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? And I felt it, and I was like, oh my gosh, he just left. What am I gonna do? He's not gonna come back for like 20 more minutes. And I just grabbed my phone and I started calling him and texting him. I was like, come now. I was like, I'm gonna have the baby. And I started messaging him. Then I pushed the red button. I was like, dang, I'm scared. What if this baby just comes out? And I just had like this urge to push. Like, and I couldn't control it. Like my body was just naturally pushing. It was freaking weird. I was like, what am I gonna do? And I was just like texting my boyfriend. I was like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I was like calling him and calling him. And then the nurse came, and then she's like, yes. And I was like, I feel like pooping. I feel like I'm about to poop. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like pushing. I was like, my body is just pushing. I don't know what to do. And she's like, okay, I will check you. And then she checked me, and then she's like, you're 10 centimeters. I was like, how did I go from 9 centimeters to 10 centimeters in 5 minutes? How is that even possible? And she's like, yes, I think it's time. And I was like, yes. Oh my gosh. And then she was like, where's your boyfriend? And I was like, he went to go get food. And then she was like, okay, downstairs. And I was like, no, he went to our house. And she's like, what? And I was like, yes, he went to the house. I was like, but it's okay, it's only 10 minutes away. She's like, okay, you need to call him. And I was like, girl, that's what I'm doing. So then I was like calling my boyfriend, and then he finally answered, and I was like, where are you? He's like, I'm coming. I was like, the baby is coming. I was like, he's about to come out. I was like, he's gonna be born any second, hurry up. And then the nurse was like, okay, I'm gonna call your doctor now. Then she called my doctor came in, she checked me, and she's like, okay, you're ready, we're good, we're ready. And I was like, okay. Okay. And then she was like, you're gonna do some practice pushes with the nurse, and I will come in and we will do like the finishing pushes, and then he will be born. And I was like, okay. Just like thinking, like going crazy, like where is my boyfriend? So then the nurse is like, can you please call your boyfriend again? And I was like, that's what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. And then I call him, I'm like, where are you, hello? And then he's like, I'm in the parking lot, I'm coming up. I was like, okay, hurry up, hurry up. So then I'm like, I told the nurse, okay, he's coming, he's here, he's in the parking lot. And then she's like, okay. And then she's like, we're gonna do some practice pushes, okay? And I was like, okay. And then she's like, when you feel the pressure, push, okay? And when you push, you go like basically like if you're pooping, like you really need to poop. I was like, okay. So then she helps me, they help you, you get to like the side or whatever position that you like or whatever the nurse says. And then I do like a practice push. And she's like, oh, very good job. And I was like, okay, my boyfriend is still not here. And then she's like, one more time. And then I push again. And she's like, okay, stop. I was like, what? And then she's like, your baby is like, he's almost gonna be born. And she's like, it's time for you to go to the, because in Belgium they keep you in one room. Then once like literally you're about to push and the baby comes out, like they take you to like the actual labor room. Labor and delivery looks kind of like an operating room. She's like, okay, it's time for us to take you to the other room. And I was like, what? My boyfriend's not even here. And then she's like, where's your boyfriend? And then boom, he comes in the room. Like just when she's saying that. And I was like, finally, where were you? I was like, he's gonna be born right now. And she's like, okay, we have to go to the other room. So then they will meet to the other room. And then she's like, okay, we're gonna do another practice push, okay? And then she's like, when you feel the pressure, you push. And then they put your legs up in the thing. And then I feel it. And then I push. And then she's like, okay, good job. And she's like, again. And I did like 2 practice pushes. And then she's like, okay, stop. He's like, I can see his head. And I was like, oh my gosh. I had heard of people that literally push for hours. Like in active labor, like labor pushing for hours. And I was like, I've literally pushed 4 times and my baby's about to come out. And then she's like, he knows I'm talking about him. So then she was like, I'm gonna call your doctor. So then they go and they call my doctor. I think there was like another girl also having her baby and we had the same doctor. So I think my doctor was in the other room, or the other girl was about to have no, she had her baby after me. Yeah, she had her baby after me. So my doctor was checking her also. And then they call my doctor and then she checks and then she's like, okay, it's time. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, then I pushed 2 times I think. So then she was like, okay, when you feel the pressure, you push. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I felt it and I pushed. It was like 1 contraction and I pushed 2 or 3 times I think. 2 or 3 times. And then I had another contraction. And then I pushed and then it was like the first contraction I pushed 2 or 3 times, then his head came out, and then I had another contraction and then like his whole body came out. And then everything from there was like super quick. And then in the operating room, or like in the room where you give labor, they have like a big clock. And it's like a digital clock. So I saw like exactly he was born at 10:15 in the morning, and it was like so fast. I don't know, like you don't even think like he's born and then they put him on me. And me and my boyfriend, we just started crying. Like, I don't know. It was like so crazy. And he was just like here and he was like crying. And I was like, oh my baby. I don't know. It was like so emotional. I couldn't believe that my baby was finally here. And then they took him, they weighed him. He weighed 7 pounds. Yeah, 3 kilos. 3.3 kilos. So it was like about 7 pounds. And he was, how long? I don't remember how long he was. I have it written down. But yeah. And then after he was born, he basically stayed with me the whole time I was in the hospital. I was in the hospital for about 3 days. Normally in Belgium, you have to stay in the hospital for 4 days. But I was only there for 3 days. And yeah, that was my birth story. Honestly, I am so thankful to God that most of my pregnancy was normal. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it was normal, was like standard pregnancy. My birth also was good. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys liked my birth story. Maybe you learned something, I don't know. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. All my links are down below. Thank you so much for watching. Say bye. Say bye to them. Say bye.